All right, we are heading for the weekly close in what's going to be a very, very, very big week next week. And as you can see, the bubbles are kind of mixed going into this. Pump.fun doesn't care. And I'm going to talk to you about Pump.fun today because that has been one of the best trades we've ever made, or the best trades that I've made in the cycle. That's for sure. I also want to talk to you about a portfolio that I think you need to set up pretty much immediately. And I think if you don't, I'm not sure you're going to get another chance to set up this portfolio. Also, as I promised, we've got a lot of bots running. The market's moved, and I actually want to clean up some of the bots. And I actually want to make sure that we've got the optimal bots going into this next part of the bull market. So Sunday night, we're going to be talking about quite a few things today. It's quite a broad show today. Lots to do. Getting us ready for what I think is going to be one of the biggest weeks of the financial year, this 2025 financial year. It's the week of the first rate cuts for the Trump administration. So Sunday night show, let's do this, guys. You know when they say 𝗕𝗓𝗋𝗪, that's what 𝗕𝗓𝗋𝗪 looks like, bro. I mean, how is that Pump.fun chart? Now trading at 0.0088, 8.8 billion. And you know why I'm so happy? Because I had so much conviction in this trade. And finally, it's playing out exactly like I expected. I must say though, it's running a lot further than I expected. And we're going to talk about that today and whether this is actually justified or whether it's not justified. But for those of you who caught the trade, for those of you who are in front runners, I know we've been talking about this since 0.02. You're 4x up on your money if you entered in spot. And if you did trade like we traded on perps, I mean, I don't know. I know my perp position is up 1,671%. It's my biggest trade that I've ever made. I guess probably it's very close to my Solana at $13 trade. So if you followed me on that, well done, guys. Big show today. Just I decided, for me the shows are quite cathartic because what I do is when I have to clean my mind and just rationalize, I just speak into a camera and then we kind of work through it together. So nice to see you guys here on a Sunday. It's obviously an unscheduled stream, so if you could help me by just smashing the like button, that would be like absolutely amazing. It brings more people. It gets a lot of distribution. We actually ran some tests. I'll actually show them to you tomorrow because there's no one here today, except me and 𝗕𝗓𝗪 working hard here. But I'll show you what the difference is on like likes versus distribution of streams. And it actually makes a massive, massive, massive difference. So like the distribution of the streams really lies in your hands. So I'm counting on you guys. Unshaven, too much fun for work. Yeah, I don't shave on the weekends. I shave Monday to Friday, I shave. By the way, tomorrow, I'm actually shitting myself, I'll be honest. I'm doing a 5-day fast starting tomorrow, or starting today. So when I leave here, I'm going to go home and eat something, and that's going to be the last thing that I eat until Friday afternoon. So wish me luck. I'll keep you guys updated. I weighed myself today to make sure. I want to see what I weigh before the pump, and then I'll tell you before the fast, and I'll tell you how much I weigh after the fast. But I'm going in for a 5-day fast. If you've done a 3-day or 5-day fast, tell me in the chats. Tell me in the chat if you guys have done it. Maybe if you guys can give me some tips, I'd really, really, really appreciate that because I'm shitting myself. Absolutely shitting myself. When you say Brian Shinobi, I know you say you fast every day, but I'm like 5 days with only water. Water, and I'm going to tea and a little bit of. They said I must have salt. I'll have a little bit of salt. All right, let's get into the action. So we're having a slight pullback on Bitcoin. We've been as high as 116,800. We're now having a slight pullback on Bitcoin. And it's a slight pullback ahead of what's a very, very big week. I'm going to be honest, I'm worried about this week. And I'm going to do a show tomorrow about why I'm so worried about this week. There's one indicator that's driving me absolutely crazy. So I'm worried. Some people say no carbs tonight, but I just ate a lot of carbs. Eesh. Maybe I'm doing it all wrong. Sure. Okay. We'll talk about the fast at the end. This is quite a big week, and there is one indicator which is like really keeping me up this week. I'll talk about that in tomorrow's show because I just want to make sure that I have all the data before I actually bring it up. But I want to talk about, there is one indicator that's really worrying me for this week, and I'm worried about Wednesday. I'll be honest, I'm very worried about Wednesday. But for today, I mean, let's look at it more broadly. Tomorrow we'll dig into the data specifically for Wednesday. You can see the bubbles on the 1 week. Don't look at it on the 1 day because yesterday there was a little pump at this time. On the 1 week, there's a lot of movement. I mean, don't look at this MYX. It's a big fucking scam. The only thing you need to be doing is shorting it. It's stuck. Okay, I wouldn't short it now, but be careful. But otherwise, quite actually a very, very, very good week for the bubbles. Today, Pump.fun, we'll talk about that. And a couple of others. Let's just quickly jump on to the next 200. Linear doing well. We'll talk about that as well. Reason why I say it's a big week, it's the week of the first interest rate cuts for the Trump administration, believe it or not, and that's happening on Wednesday. So two things happening that are going to come out of the FOMC on Wednesday. The first thing is the interest rate cut. The second thing is the FOMC. Now, this is a bit of a curveball because this FOMC, the dot plot. When I said the why, because the dot plot only happens quarterly at the FOMC meetings, and the dot plot sets the mood, right? That's the thing here. The dot plot sets the mood. We could be in a situation where we get interest rate cuts, but the market gets disappointed by the dot plot, by the amount of time that, or the interest rates over time that are going to happen. And so what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on that. Again, let's talk about Wednesday on Wednesday or tomorrow, because I have got lots of thoughts about Wednesday. Right now, market's telling you 96.4% of a single rate cut. There is a chance of a double rate cut. It's not a big chance, but there is a chance of 3.6%. If there is a double rate cut, the person who will break it will be this guy, 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗧. So you can know this before. Just follow his account. It's 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗧. They call him the Fed Whisperer. He knows what's going on. He's got little birdies inside the Fed. So watch this account. He'll give us clues as to what's going on inside the FOMC meeting. He gets his birdies. He's got his little birdies in that. Someone says next week historical for Bitcoin. I don't know so much. Be careful. I read this from 𝗙𝗘𝗔𝗧𝗨. It says in 20 out of 20 times that the Fed has cut rates with the S&P at record highs, stocks ended higher 12 months later. So this is talking about a cycle that continues for at least another 12 months, which is exactly what I broke down on the other channel here when I broke down the ultimate ultra cycle. Remember this ultimate ultra cycle video that I did where I said, look, it's going to be a long cycle. The one thing though that is starting to worry me a little bit is we're in alt season. And remember, I did a show earlier this week where I said if this indicator stays in alt season for a week, we could get to alt season. Now, I kind of don't want the alt season. The reason why I don't want the alt season now is because if we get the alt season now, it plays into the cycle that ends in 8 weeks. I'm not ready for the cycle to end. I'm not ready for this cycle to end. Like I almost feel like I haven't managed to squeeze enough juice for all the suffering that we suffered. Luna, FTX, Biden, and Kamala Harris, and like this highly abusive period. I don't know. Certainly, I believe it. This was like one of the most abusive periods of my life. Was the chop before the elections? When were the elections again? The elections were 2024 elections. Yeah, right. This chop period from March. Remember this period from March? Well, it actually started in Feb all the way to October before the elections. Remember that, or to November. So I just don't feel we've got enough. Like we haven't got enough return from the market. We haven't got enough return from the market here for the end of the cycle, so to speak. So I'm not ready for the cycle to end yet. I did see that 𝗕𝗓𝗪𝗔 actually also wrote a tweet. I wonder if I can find you the actual thing. He says, the Fed is about to add rocket fuel to the fire. Since 1980, 100% of Fed rate cuts with S&P 500 record highs have led to record highs 12 months later. Not to mention, this time around, we're in the midst of an AI revolution, which is barely in its second inning. The Magnificent Seven companies alone are investing $100 billion plus per quarter in CapEx. Now, obviously, when they invest, it obviously stimulates the economy. The biggest technological revolution since the internet will be met with rate cuts this week. And that's like an amazing situation to actually be in. But as I said, there is something that's worrying me. That'll be tomorrow's show. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Let's talk about some altcoins today because I think that's what we love doing here on Sundays. So I think the first one that I want to talk about is obviously Pump.fun. Congratulations if you followed the trade. You know, I had a lot of conviction in this trade. You know that I had a lot of conviction because I never ever make dedicated videos. I just don't do that generally because I just feel like, you know, when do you stop? But on Pump, I actually made a dedicated video. I was like, okay, guys, like this is you have to be looking at Pump.fun. That one was made at 0.28 when I made it. Let's just see if I can actually find it here. Here we go. This one. It's here. This one was. It was. You see. It's one of those things where when I said it, like people like were laughing at me. And this is one of our least worst shows. And then I went into front runners and I was like, listen, guys, pump. And we started buying it at 0.28 or 26. And I mean, here's my trade. I'm not going to show you the quantum of this trade. But I mean, this is a big trade. Like, it's one of the biggest trades I've ever made in my life, if not the biggest trade I've ever made in my life. So my trade here was long pump, short bonk. Why? Because pump was getting hated on because people thought that bonk was going to win the trenches. And I knew that bonk was one of those love me. Nothing against bonk. I mean, bonk's actually a very, very, very good community, etc. But I just didn't think that they were going to be the winners in the trenches. Also because I knew what Alon's plan is. Like, Alon's plan is, to win when it comes to become a social network, to win in streaming. And you can see that now the big thing at Pump here is the streaming, right? So he says Pump.fun bought 90% of the users to the cycle with meme coin mania. Now they're doing it again with live streaming. So this is the live streaming, and people are earning a lot of money live streaming. So from tomorrow, we're actually going to be live streaming on Pump, right, Harder? So you worked it out. We're going to be, tomorrow we're going to stream on Pump, right?
Just need to.
Okay, so we'll set up the account tomorrow, and tomorrow we're going to start streaming our streams to Pump, which is going to be amazing. Alon, the founder, says already flipped Rumble in terms of average number of concurrent viewers on live streams. Currently inching at 1% of Twitch's market share, 10% of Kick's market share. And so these guys are really becoming a social network. Now, if they become a social network, throw away all your valuations of Pump, because if they become a social network, and they can, because they've got $2 billion. I don't know. I mean, I don't even think Facebook raised $2 billion. Let's actually see what ChatGPT says about this. I don't think Facebook raised $2 billion, but let's actually see here. How much money did Facebook raise before listing? I'm actually very keen to know this. I want to get a comparison here. Oh, they raised about 2.3 billion in funding, right? Pump.fun have got about 2 billion. So I mean, this is real. Eh? This is real. Remember, Facebook only did this 2012. Let me just see, when was Facebook founded? I think it was like 2002, 2004. So they waited 8 years before they actually raised all this money. And so, I think Pump could actually be a real competitor. Guys, by the way, if you do want to join us in Front Runners, I don't actually know if you can. Let's just have a look here. I'll tell you in a second if you actually can. Because these guys want to close it again because they want to make it more exclusive, blah, blah, blah. Can you join? Yeah, you can. Okay, so you can still join. It's going to become a lot more exclusive. If you sign up to Front Runners, you also get the special on the 247 terminal. Anyway, I digress. Let's go back to it. So Pump, look, I do think now maybe is not a great time to be getting into Pump. It's had a great run. I do think if you're buying into it long term, wait for the next pullback and get yourself into Pump. I think right now, if the market carries on running, now a lot depends on what happens this week. I think WLFI may be one to look at. It's starting to break out of that. 20 cents is the range that all the investors bought in at. It's the range that the Treasury company actually bought in at. So I think it's quite good to actually get in it's actually quite good to maybe get in around this level and then just hold it, because something will happen. I'm not sure when, I'm not sure how long. Hold it, because something will actually happen. The last one that I want to talk about before we actually talk about bots is I want to talk about Solana. So Solana is not at all-time highs in terms of price. To get to all-time high in terms of price, it has to get to $294. It's on 245. Remember that the reason why it's running is because of this announcement that they raised $1.65 billion in a private placement in cash and stablecoin commitments for a Solana Treasury company. That Solana Treasury company is Galaxy, Jump, and Multicoin Capital, right? And so you've got these guys here. You've got these guys going out into the market and actually buying. And so, I mean, Joe McCann says, look, they've only bought like $70 million and already they've pushed the price up this high. They've still got like $1 billion to buy. And I don't know how much they've landed up buying on the weekend, but it is quite a big number that they have to still buy. So I don't think that they've bought. But if you read carefully, and one other thing that you probably should mention is, even though the price of Solana is not at all-time highs, the market cap is at all-time highs. Why? Because more tokens have been released since the last time that Solana was trading at these prices, right? Solana in the 2021 cycle did actually trade here at 260, but because all the tokens were locked up, I'll show you something here. So you can go back to Solana here and just write Solana. So you can go back to Sol and you can just look at and just click on market cap here, and you can see that in 2021, let's go back. In 2021, the market cap, even though the price was much higher, because the tokens were still locked up, the market cap was only about 71 billion. Now the market cap is 225 billion, so it's almost 2x the market cap that it was on the last cycle. But what do you need to look at here? Because a lot of people just read this announcement and say, okay, wow, this is very, very bullish for Solana. Remember that this treasury vehicle is not the same as all the other treasury vehicles. Why are they not the same as every other treasury vehicle? When you look at SBET, when you look at BMNR, when you look at even Michael Saylor's treasury vehicles, the underlying thing of all those treasury vehicles is that they buy ETH, they hold ETH, they stake ETH. And the same thing with Michael Saylor, he buys Bitcoin and he never ever sells Bitcoin. This is a different treasury company. This treasury company they're being very intellectually honest about the fact that they're not only going to buy and stake ETH, but they're going to be doing a whole lot of other things. They're going to be doing arbitrage. They're going to be doing DeFi. They're going to be doing staking. They're going to be doing lending. They are an ecosystem company. They're effectively a bank or a financial services treasury vehicle built on Solana. Now, if you read the fine print over here, what you'll realize is that some of the angel investors that invested in this treasury vehicle, alongside Kyle Samani, who put in $25 million of his own money. By the way, I'm getting Kyle onto the show. I'm actually going to just check. I know, and I pinged him, and we're trying to set up a time, but because our time zones are different, he's in the US, I'm here. It's so complicated to set up time. Anyway, we'll find a gap. What you realize here is that a lot of angel investors are protocols that will probably benefit from this Solana treasury vehicle, right? So Cindy Liu, I don't know how to pronounce her surname, from Drift, Athena. Then you've got JITO, you've got Ionet, you've got Pudgy Penguins, you've got Robert Leshner. These guys all put their own money into this treasury vehicle. So what am I thinking here? Solana is going to start running soon, and the driving force behind Solana running is going to be this treasury vehicle. Now, this treasury vehicle is going to be doing a whole lot of financial services transactions around Solana and the Solana ecosystem and whatever else. And then these guys must be here because they are in some shape or form a part of this treasury vehicle, right? And so remember, we made a Solana portfolio. And I say again that I think it's really, really, really important that you buy the Solana portfolio. Now, for those of you who weren't here for that class, for those of you who weren't here for this specific class, you'll remember that we did this at 212, right? And I said, look, don't go and do risky shit this cycle. Rather, do safe shit and take safer coins and take more leverage. And I said, look, take a 3x position on Solana and so I just want to see how much I actually invested. And actually, I opened this portfolio on Bluefin. Remember, I had $40,000 in this account, and I said I'm investing half of my $40,000 in this account, which was this account here, $20,000. And I said, look, on $20,000, what you can do is you can take leverage 3x on Solana, 2x on Jupiter, 2x on Radium, 2x on JITO, 2x on Pump, 2x on Drift. And what you can do is you can build a 46K portfolio. So you got $46,000 worth of exposure to the Solana ecosystem. And here's your liquidation levels. And I think these liquidation levels are very, very, very safe, right? Like you're talking about Solana liquidation level, $142. If Solana gets back to $142, we've got a much bigger problem on our hands. Jupiter, which is currently trading at JUPUSD, let's just have a look here. Trading at 53 cents. Honestly, if Jupiter gets back to 26 cents, we've got big problems on our hands, right? Pump, if Pump gets back to 0.16. In fact, actually on Pump, we can actually now take more because the liquidation price is so low. So the way to build this portfolio, as I said to you guys before, is don't look for more risk because these are all the winners, right? Don't look for more risk. Just take more leverage on the current on the current things that you actually have, right? So on Pump, you can take 2x leverage, on Drift take 2x leverage, on JITO take 2x leverage, and build yourself this portfolio. Now, I built this portfolio the day that, I don't remember which day this was. I built this portfolio, and what you can see in this portfolio is that I've got myself already, I only invested $20,000, right? And from that $20,000 today is up, well, the Pump fund position is up $10,000. The Solana position is up $2,500. And the rest of them are pretty flat-ish, okay? So this is, I think, is a good time to actually be getting into this specific portfolio. And again, all you need to do, you open an account on any of the exchanges. I use 𝗏𝗏𝗀. Maybe, Johnny, if you could just put the 𝗏𝗏𝗀 link here. Open an account on 𝗏𝗏𝗀, and then just emulate this portfolio. And you can see, just watch your liquidation price. Like, if you can look at my portfolio here, and you can see my liquidation prices are like, I mean, I'm nowhere near my liquidation prices, but we can actually just quickly go and look at the futures trading. Let's see what's going on here. So you can see my this World Liberty Fire trade is just there for shits and giggles. Let's just look at Drift. So my liquidation price on Drift is 32 cents. My liquidation price on Pump is 0.0016, it's trading at 0.009. My liquidation price on JITO, 105. Currently, JITO is trading at 206. I don't think I'm going to hit these liquidation prices. Sorry, let me move myself so you can actually see this. So what I would actually do is I would take this portfolio now because what's going to happen is these guys are going to buy $1 billion worth of Sol. Sol's going to start running like a mofo. When Sol starts running like a mofo, the Sol ecosystem is going to run. And the ones that are going to run the best, Athena, Drift, JITO, and just do it for $20,000, or depending what your portfolio size is, you can literally get $50,000, 2.5 times your thing by just taking this is what I call responsible leverage. You're not going 10x, you're not going 50x, you're not doing any of that crap, and you are actually getting much more exposure in the last part of the bear market, last part of the bull market. So I'm going to leave a link. Johnny, if you could just leave a link to this portfolio, try and copy this portfolio over here. And again, there's 𝗏𝗏𝗀, and you guys can do the same thing. This is what I think will win if you're into Solana. Maybe for now, just don't do Pump.fun, because I think for now, Pump has had too much of a run. And I think you maybe missed this trade. You should have taken it the day that I dropped it. You didn't take it. For now, just hang 10 on this portfolio. The other thing that you can do is you can open bots on all of these. You can open bots on all of these. And so there's two ways to make money out of these things. One is build yourself a portfolio. 3 ways. One, go and buy the portfolio. Go and buy the portfolio spot. Second thing that you can do is you can actually buy the portfolio with slight leverage. So that's another way for you to make money out of this pump. Buy the portfolio with slight leverage, 3x, 2x. And again, there, watch your liquidation price. And always make sure that you've got money in case we do have a freak event. Make sure that you've got money to put in extra margin, because the worst thing that you want to get is to get liquidated out of the portfolio. Don't put all your money into this portfolio. Leave something aside. So that is one way to do it. That's the second way to do it. The third way to do it is to actually open the bots. And that's what I actually want to do today. I want to spend some time on the bots, because we have a lot of bots running here. And I kind of think maybe it's time to just review the bots one by one, and to make sure that we have the right bots running with the right ranges and stuff like that. So I will leave a link to all the bots that we actually speak about today. But I mean, maybe a good one is to actually start off with this Pump.fun one. And the reason why it's probably a good time. By the way, guys, let's just start off for those of you who don't know anything about these bots. So these bots were set up on Pionex. There is a link here if you want to set up bots on Pionex. The bots were set up on Pionex. When you sign up to Pionex using this link over here, and when you then click on here, you can get up to $1,000 sign-up bonus. If you want to know how to claim that, you can claim that over here. There's a link over there, and you can use that link. This link literally shows you step by step how to claim your $1,000. Okay, so you click there, and step by step, it shows you how to claim the $1,000. Now let's talk about the actual bots, because as you can see right now, like this bot is out of the current range. The reason why I'm using these specific bots is because these are grid bots. The difference between a normal bot and a grid bot, a normal bot just trades in and out and in and out. A grid bot, as you can see over here, trades in and out in and out with grids. So for example, if you look here, you say, for example, I want to trade pump, and my lowest price range is going to be 0, I'm not setting up a spot, I just want to show you how the grids work, 0,08, and my highest range is going to be 0,01, and then I'm going to say 500 grids. What you can see is that there are a whole lot of grids here. I wonder if you can even you can't even see it. Let's see if we can do, okay, there. Okay, let's just I just want to show you how the grids work, right? So too many grids. Let's just get that. I want to show you guys the effect of the actual grids. Let's see. Okay, let's do it on Bitcoin, because I just think on Bitcoin it's much easier. It's actually much easier just to see much easier to actually see the grids. So when it comes down to Bitcoin USD, so when it comes down to that, you can kind of see that if you create a grid bot and you say, I want the bot to trade on Bitcoin from $100,000 to $150,000, and you do a 300 grid bot, and we'll talk about that in a second, because I'm going to talk about a lot about the bots. What you can see is that the bot will trade in and out and in and out with every single one of these grids, right? So you can see, every grid is going to be, there we go. So you can see the bot's going to trade in and out and in and out and in and out at every single one of these grids. So that's what the grid bots are. They make money on the grid going up or down and on the actual bots. Now, I want to clean up the bots now, because we've got a lot of bots running, and I want to make sure that these bots are optimized. I'm going to start off with the Pump.fun one, because I think that's an easy one. We're going to close a whole lot of these bots as well, just by the way. Okay, let me just get this out of the way. So let's start off with the Pump bot, which is this bot over here. The reason why I want to start with the Pump bot is because you see that when we set this up, we didn't think that the grid was going to get so high. So it stopped trading now. So how did we do on this Pump.fun bot? It's good to talk about how well we actually did on the bot, right? The bot ran it started on the bot ran 25 days. We invested $2,000, and we made $4,000 on the trade and $880 on the grid. Okay, that's a great return. Just the grid profit was about 800 divided by 2,000 was about 45%, 44%. It's just written there. I don't know why I'm bashing my head here. But what you can see is the grid profit here was 44%, and I want to keep this bot actually running, but I want to do two things to this bot. The first thing is I want to change the range, because you see now this bot is not trading anymore. So I've got to change the range. So what I'm going to do is and by the way, I'm going to leave links to every single one of these bots before, right? So the first thing is I'm going to edit the price range over here, and I'm going to put the price range to 0,0012 or even 15. I'm going to leave the grids at 500. That's the maximum number of grids. The current liquidation price. So you see my liquidation price is so low that I'm actually going to make, I'm also going to reinvest the $5,000 that I made. I think it's, in fact, I'm not going to reinvest it just so we can keep showing it. Should I reinvest it or not? Okay, let's reinvest it. So now by reinvesting it, we're actually compounding that return. So, okay, confirmed, bang. Okay, so now I've got a bot that's running. The bot is running with an estimated liquidation price of 0,005. 0,005. I want to actually adjust that price range. 0,005. Yeah, I want to add some margin here. So let's adjust the margin here. Let's add margin here, because I want the bot. I never ever want to be liquidated. I never ever want to be liquidated on these things, right? That's the main thing here. Okay, let's put into. Because I put in so much more money, it's asking me now to put in more margin. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I think that is good enough for now. Okay, so that setting, what you can see is I've got a bot that's running from 0,004 all the way up to 0,015, And so this, in fact, we can even change the range here a bit more. We can change the range here a little bit more. We can actually go to the lower limit at 3. Okay, and do not reinvest, adopt, perfect. Okay, so that Pump.fun bot will now carry on running. I'm gonna leave links to all of the bots today under thing here. Let me just copy that. I'm gonna keep sending them to Johnny, and Johnny will update the bottom of the show here. It's important with these bots to understand the range that you're gonna be in, right? Okay, the next one that I wanna mess with is, okay, so I wanna check this one. Is my WorldCoin one. My WorldCoin one is from 92. So let me get a WLD chart here. A WorldCoin. Okay, so here is, let's just get a WLD chart. USD. Let's look at the WorldCoin chart. What the hell is this chart? Okay, I probably chose the wrong exchange. Let's go to Binance. Okay, so that's the WorldCoin chart. Oh man, let's open another chart there. Let's just go WLD USD chart. Okay, now let's just look at the, oh man. And let's go here. Okay, so there we go. There's that chart. So you can see quite clearly that the bottom range here is about 59 and the top goes all the way up to $12. So you want to make sure that your bot's trading in this range. So my bot here is trading at, let's have a look here. What is my range here? Let's have a look here. From $1 to $3 with 500 grids. I think that one's pretty safe. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to edit the price range slightly. I'm keeping the number of grids. So I'm going to go from 0.9, and I'm going to go up to $5 because I want this bot to carry on trading. And my liquidation price is at 117. A little bit uncomfortable, so I'm going to add in some margin. So I'm not going to reinvest. Okay, let's have a look here. Okay, let's go here, and let's just, so my estimated liquidation price is 0.85. I'm going to get it slightly lower because, again, I don't want to get killed here if we do get a pullback. I don't think it's ever going to get there, but I'm just going to do that now. It's not the leverage. I'm going to add some more margin here. Margin. Just margin over here. Let me add in $2,000. $2,000. Okay, that's pretty safe. All right, so now you've got this bot also running. You got a WorldCoin bot running over here. I'm gonna share it with Johnny, and we're gonna update every single one, and we're also gonna close a whole lot of bots. So okay, then you got the Drift bot. Okay, so Drift, I want to make some changes. The first thing is I want to change the estimated leverage, right? So in fact, what I'm going to do with this Drift bot is I'm going to do the following. I'm going to adjust the leverage to 5x because I want these bots to be quite aggressive. So I want in fact, let's do this. Let's close the Drift bot. Let's go more. Let's stop the bot. Okay. Cool. And let's actually set up another Drift bot. So how do I set up a Drift bot? I go to futures. I go to futures bot. Oh, can we get some aircon in here, bro? Okay, let's create a thing here. You go to Drift. Remember, Drift is one of our key Solana people here. I go to Drift, DRIFT over here, and I look to see the price range of Drift. Now, the price range of Drift goes from 34 in the lowest part of the cycle and currently trading at 61. I kind of want to catch probably between here, 45, 40, and upwards. So what I do is I go back here and I say, okay, the lowest part is 0.4. And the highest part is, let's go all the way up to, for now, $2. We can always change it later. And then I want this bot trading like a crazy bot. So 500 grids. Now, I change my leverage to 5x. And I put in the investment amount of $5,000. Let's see what my liquidation price is. So my liquidation price is 30 cents here. On I don't have any money. Oh man, I'm running out of money here. Okay, I'll have to, let me close some bots here. And then that way I'll have some money to do it. So for now, let me put in 3,000. I have enough money. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put $3,000 in here. As I hit create, it's going to say to me, look, oh wait, I want to reduce, no auto reserve. Auto reserve is when the system decides how much to auto reserve for you. Okay, let's see what the liquidation price is. If I put in $3,000 investment, 49. But that liquidation price is not, I'm not comfortable with it. So I'm going to put in $2,000 into this bot, and I'm going to put in another $1,000 of extra margin. That should reduce mine to 42. Let me put in 1.5 extra margin. Oh man, it's not giving me bots. It's not letting me invest because I don't have enough money. Hold on, let's just close some bots and free up some money here. Where are the bots where I've made some real money? Let's release them. Let's release the beast. Release the beasts. Let's stop this bot. This will give us a whole lot of money. Actually, no, this is a good one. Let's stop the Solana bot. We don't need 2 Solana bots. So there we go. Stop that bot. Okay. Got ourselves another bot. Let's stop one of the ETH bots as well. That should free up a lot of cash. We have a lot of here. We've got. Let's stop this bot as well. Okay. Let's stop this bot as well. Okay. Okay, now we've stopped a whole lot of bots. I think that we should have enough money to actually carry on with this drift bot. Okay, so we're going to go back to it. It's drift. It is, we said that the lowest price is around 0.04, sorry, 0.4 and 0.4. And the highest price we said is $2. We gave it 500 grids. Remember, if you want to change afterwards, it's not a problem. You can always change. I want to go, I'm playing them on 5x leverage. I take off the auto reserve. The auto reserve means that the system decides how much money not to trade with and to keep into extra margin. So I'm going to put $2,000 into this bot. And then my liquidation price is quite high. It's 50 cents. That's, it's uncomfortably high. So I'm going to just put $1,000 aside and say, in fact, yeah, let's put $1,000 aside here, or $2,000 aside. That money is not traded with. It's just to make sure you don't actually get liquidated. That should be okay. We will keep watching the liquidation price. I create the bot. It tells me I'm going to be $2,000 is sitting aside. The rest I'm buying drift right now. Bang. And I hit that bot. That bot is now created. I'm going to share that with Johnny. Johnny's going to put that link for you guys in the description. And then you guys can you can literally just copy these things. So let me give you another one. So the drift one is done. The WorldCoin one is done. Let's look at Jupiter. So Jupiter, we've got this bot. It's a 3x long bot. The price range. So let's quickly look at the chart of Jupiter, JUP, USD. And you can see the lowest part of the price is like 35 cents, and the higher goes up there. Now what we'll do is we will look and just see, we've got a 0.4 to 0.8. So is that good enough for us? Is 0.4 to 0.8 good enough? Yeah, I think 0.4 to 0.8 actually carries us. So this one will actually leave as is for now. I mean, we could go more aggressive on the leverage, but I think for now, let's keep that one as it is. My JITO bot, now this bot is down, which is probably a good time to be getting into the JITO bot. Let's look at the JITO bot. And what you can see here on the JITO bot is that the price range is 160 and then it goes all the way up. Let's just make sure that our bot is running in that price range. So JITO is running 165, which is probably a good price range. 500 grids, that one I'm actually happy with. The WLFI one, I'm happy with. The Pump.fun one, I think we've just made a whole lot of adjustments to it. So that Pump.fun one is a whole lot. The adjustments are all great. Let's look at Chainlink. So Chainlink is one of those ones where I want to make sure that we've actually got some adjustments here. Okay, so Chainlink, the first thing is let's quickly just open the link chart and kind of understand where do we want to be in the bot. Okay, let's just have a look here. Okay, let's have a look here. So the Chainlink range that I want to be in around $20, which is somewhere around here. And then I want to be in all the way up. So I just want to check that my range here is good. So my range, $19 to $45, 5x leverage. That's a good bot. So that bot will remain the same. Mantle, this is the Bybit token. Let's look at this chart over here. MNT USD. So that's your Mantle chart. And what you can see is that this one's quite tricky because there's no range, right? You kind of want to be in from about $1 and you want to be in all the way up. So let's actually have a look at this bot. How did we set it up? We set it up for $1 to $2. The thing is, I think that if we leave it at $1 to $2, I think we can actually extend that range. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go more. I would adjust the price range. So I'd edit the price range and I'd say $1 to $2.50. And my liquidation price remains at about $1. I think that's pretty okay. I'm not going to reinvest. Bang. Cool. All done. Now that one's going to go up. Sonic, I think this bot is correct. Now wait, we've already got a link bot. So we don't need 2 link bots running, right? So I'm going to close one. This one is 15 to 40 with 400 grids. This one is 15 to 45 with 400 grids. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this bot. Cool. We don't need 2 bots running. We've got 1 bot. Let's clean it up. We've got conviction in our bots. 15 to 40 with 400 grids on a 5x leverage. That's exactly what I want. Okay. PENGU. So PENGU, this one's down. Obviously, when we started this coin when PENGU was 0.38. Today, the PENGU price is 0.34. So the price is down. But notice how even though the price is down, half of the losses that I've made on the trading, I've actually made up on the grid. That's the beauty of the PENGU bot. I'm going to keep the PENGU bot. The Athena bot is amazing. The Doge bot is amazing. No reason to touch that. Now here, I want to start closing some of these Solana bots. The reason why I want to start closing, we've got too many Bitcoin and Solana bots. We've got Solana, we've got the Bitcoin, we've got another Bitcoin bot over here. I think we even had a 3rd Bitcoin bot at one stage. I want to close them and I want to keep like the main ones actually running, right? So for Bitcoin, where do I want to be? What is the price range that I actually want to be in this thing, right? So I want to be in Bitcoin probably from about 100K because I kind of don't see Bitcoin going below 95. So from 95K up until you could say what I'm calling the end of the cycle trade, right? So 100K to 150K, let's see. So 100K to 150K. Let's make some slight adjustments here, okay? So edit price range. Let's go from 95K just in case the price actually starts going there. And let's go to 150K. We can always edit it if we need to edit it, right? And I press next step. I'm not going to reinvest my thing. The one thing that I want to change now is I want to change the number of grids because it's not trading optimally, right? It's only 150 grids. So I'm not making as much money as I should be making on the actual grid bot. So what I do here, I go to the number of grids. Hold on, reduce investment, price range. Pause the bot, add investment. Hold on, adjust margin. Okay, so you got your edit price range and the number of grids here. I'm going to go to 500 grids because I want this thing trading like crazy. There we go. And no, I don't want to reinvest. It's the new $2 that I've got. Cool. Now that one is basically that one's basically running. We made a lot of money on that bot actually. ETH, you've got a 2,800 to 5,500 with 180 grids. I think that one needs to change. Let's edit it. So number one, I want more grids. So I want 500 grids because the more grids, yes, you pay more fees, but you're making more money. So for me, I'm like probably 500 grids. My range probably needs to go higher than 5,500 because ETH could break through that 5,500 at any point now, right? Okay. My liquidation price is 3,000 here. I'm kind of comfortable with 3,000. I think I'm kind of comfortable with it. Okay, I'm not going to reinvest. I'm going to adopt without reinvesting. Okay, so profits are not reinvested. Correct. That is correct. There we go. My XRP bot. And I want to set up an AVAX bot here as well. So my XRP bot. I'm going to send that the same link for Johnny. XRP is over here. I want to be in XRP probably from $2 all the way up. So I go back to the bot. And I say, okay, let's just see this. It's $2 to $4.50. It's a 5x bot. It's on 250 grids. You know, the one thing we can do here is we can actually give it some more grids, probably 400. It just makes it trade more actively and you make more money on the grids. Now, yes, you pay fees, but you're paying fees, but you're making money. You're paying fees, making money, right? And let's go. Stop. I'm not reinvesting the money. Okay, now there is one that I want to open now. Okay, that's fine. Okay, I do want to open an AVAX bot because I don't have an AVAX bot running. AVAX has had a breakout recently. They're also raising a treasury vehicle. I hope they'll be successful in raising their treasury vehicle. But you can see that we broke this $26 range. And then like if you look at where the next big areas of support are, they're like all the way up here. So let's set up a bot here on AVAX from like $15 all the way up. So I go here. I go to Pionex. I go futures bot. And I go create. And I go AVAX, AVAX, USD. And the price, $15. And where do I want the top of that bot? I think for now, like I think let's go to like this previous cycle, this December all-time high, which is $65. We'll revisit it if it gets anywhere near there again, right? So let's go from 15 to 65. Let's go again with 500 grids. And let's go with an investment amount of $2,000 just because it's easy to manage. And let's go with 5x leverage. Okay, my liquidation price is $7. I don't think AVAX is ever going $7. And then I'm going to create that bot. And I'm going to hit it. Hold on, wait. It shouldn't be the auto reserve's on. I nearly got caught on with the auto reserve. So $2,000. Remember, auto reserve, if you leave that auto reserve on, it decides how much of the money to use as a side pocket for not getting liquidated. So I'm going to put $2,000 myself into that account. My liquidation price is $14. That's good enough for me. Bang. Okay, it's now trading. And I'm going to send that link to Johnny. Okay, so all of these links are going to be in are going to be in the description of the show. We've cleaned them all up. They're all now trading on the right ranges. We opened another one today, which we opened the AVAX bot. So you pretty much got like really on all the good coins, all my favorite coins here. You've got bots. As we talk about more coins, we'll add more bots. We've made a ton of cash. Remember, this account started at $50,000. Eh? It's trading at the account's got $142,000 in it now. So it's like we've made a lot of money on these bots. And the one thing I love about these things is that, like, you can see that no matter how badly you do in the trading, and I have had some bad trades, of course. Like JITO, the trade hasn't gone amazingly yet. I'm sure it will at some stage. So I've lost $1,000, but I've made $134 on the grid. Like, or here, this is probably the best example of, this is what I think is probably the best example, right? So if you look at the WLFI trade, I'm still very confident about the trade, but I got in at 0.235 and I'm down $569. And so look at the amount of money that I've just made on the grid trading. I've made more money than I've lost in the actual trade. You get it? So that is pretty much how I use these bots. They've been amazing for us. The other bots have also done well, like the 𝗬𝗏𝗀 bots. If you look at the 𝗬𝗏𝗀 copy trading bots, they're also all profitable now. The 𝗬𝗶𝗀 bot is profitable. The 𝗕𝗂𝗀 bot is profitable. So now you got to decide what you want to do. Like I think I'm gonna at some point cut the money here and put them into the Pionex bots. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to cancel this bot or adjust the balance and leave a very small amount in here just so I can max amount. I'm going to remove $20,000. Why can I only remove? Oh, because the rest is in a trade. Okay, let me submit that. And I'm going to withdraw money from this bot. There we go. Okay, so now you've got you've got all the Pionex bots running. There are links to all the bots. If you want to sign up, there's a sign up link below. Let me show you. There's a sign up link for you guys below. When you sign up, you get up to $1,000 sign up bonus. But you got to use this link and you got to follow this and then go to the YouTube this link over here and it'll show you how to actually claim your bonus. All the bots are here. We're going to remove all these Bitcoin full bots. We're going to clean up. We're not going to have any of those bots. We're going to have one bot each. I'll clean it up with Johnny tonight. We don't need that many bots. Okay, so like this Bitcoin full bot, is that the one I just, that's another one. So let's stop this bot. We don't need it. We don't need the Bitcoin full bot. ETH mini phase 1. It's a great bot. I'm going to keep it running just because there's a lot of money in it. And there's a lot of profit in it. Sold USDT money machine. Let's stop this bot. Oh, but it's full of money. Okay, let's not stop it because it's full of money. All right, I'll clean up the links for the bots, but I think you guys understand more or less how to do these bots. That's the most important thing. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Tomorrow we've got a big show. I'm gonna share a concern tomorrow. I know we don't like talking about concerns. I'm gonna share a concern tomorrow. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Until then, trade well, my friends.